Let me know in the chat if we're back online. Oh. I've now lost. Let's try and find Pathfinder quickly. I think the stream is back on again, but we need to find Pathfinder, and I need to try and work out why. Well, A, what happened there. I think my internet connection dropped, but not certain. And I've got to work out what is going on here with the restream chat, which is now missing. Okay, I'm gonna let's close Nite Team for briefly. Okay, try and get the restream chat back. Oh, that thing's gone. Where has it gone? Hello. Path, if you were out there, try rejoining the call that I had you on. See whether that works. I've got to Alt Shift right click, Alt right click, Control right click, Control Alt right click. I can't remember how the old movie doodah works on. Oh, well, this has been one for the books. Try again. I've just gone back to it, and it is open again. Put some off-grid music on in the background. I guess we'll transition to the fact that video games is serious business, even if my internet connection isn't. While we're waiting to get Pathfinder back, I'm just going to attempt to get my restream chat back up as well. Shift right click. Thought I did that already. That's not working. Okay, looks like I have a restream chat back as well. There we go. Hello again. So we just need a pathfinder.
Oh, there we go.
Aha. Right. We're back. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what happened. Basically, all of the Wi-Fi in the house disappeared for about 2 minutes, or at least a minute. So we are back. Right, I need to relaunch the game. Let's do that. Do we still have Omen? Hopefully we do.
Let us find out. They were in the Discord.
Yep. Well, it's just as well we hadn't gotten very far.
Yep.
Don't have much to try and track back on. Right.
Secure uplink initiated.
Here we go.
Stinger OS now active.
Oh, okay. Password.
By the way, that break has highlighted a thing, which means I might have to.
Head off.
Not at the minute, but I don't know if you've seen. There's some changes to the current weather situation in the UK, which has been quite bad.
Oh, really? Serious?
Yeah, so might have to run off and do some driving.
Oh, fair enough. Well, good on you. Good on heroic you, going and driving various other emergency services around to their
Well,
designated
not,
destinations.
it's stupidity, really. A car, not a boat, and a boat is required in this situation.
Oh,
so,
well, we might hopefully not get caught then.
Yeah, Sheffield is underwater, essentially.
Yikes. That's not that close to you, Sheffield.
Well, no, but that is not relevant for the national service.
No,
and
fair
for
enough.
whoever's available.
Right, back to story mode. Into here. So, I mean, I'll replay intro. We can replay the intro to this. Oh, hang on.
Loading Stinger OS log file.
Log file.
Station 15. Agent Duels, October 17th.
What?
2016.
What is this even?
Playback started. Information gathering module initiated.
Position, latitude 32, longitude negative
Drone
117.
and imagery intelligence active.
32 minus 117.
We're watching a drone thing in progress.
Deploying satellite
But-
imagery. That's California.
That's California, San Diego, next to the Mexican border. Device and vehicle tracking. Oh, we did have to do something to do with vehicle tracking, didn't we?
We had to find that guy, didn't we? We had to
Wait.
monitor. We had to wander around tracking his phone. We isolated which phone was his, and we had to track him about. Didn't we?
And then we used some kind of number plate recognition or something to. Oh no, we were pinging it as. No, I can't remember. We were triangulating something.
It was definitely phone stuff because we had to watch over time and work out which one was his based on some feature of his day, like his calendar or something. So we knew where he'd be at certain times, and then from that we deduced which MAC address was his or something like that. And then we had to watch him around the place. I'm pretty sure that's what I ended up happening.
Well, this isn't us. This is some other agent that we're watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm cross-referencing her last 24 hours station activities with the Soft Crash project. Poked around in the Roper Group network and it was genuinely so far.
Morpho Medical? Really?
I feel like we're watching a trailer rather than.
She assigned a C2 channel on Soft Crash. I just got the log activity.
2 and 30 to ground contact.
Okay, that's level 2.
Jedi says.
Morpho Medical mainframe.
Was going to say before, implying the ground team cutscene was that something bad happened to the ground team, possibly related to us not droning people. Oh.
2 minutes 15. 2 minutes.
Sky Broadband is evidently not serious business. Well, it's not Sky Broadband for a start, because I am in the US right now. This is 2016, this is long before we were called in to drone people. Right, that was training missions. Remember the billboards? That's unrealistic. I don't remember any billboards, no.
Poisoning active.
No, I don't think we played with billboards, did we?
2 minutes.
This is quite strange, this thing that's in playback mode. I can't get out of it either. It's like watching someone playing the game, but it's obviously a kind of sequence that they've recorded.
Activity logs to see what's going on.
Can I get out of it? Oh yeah, I can. Playback terminated. Very strange. Right. Operation Dark Sun. The tracking done to regain Nite Team 4's assets will lead to a much deeper investigation. Replay intro. I never saw that thing before. That's just confused me even more. That's a long. We don't want to watch that thing all the way through. We want to hack stuff. Jedi Omen is laughing. Is like, do you have to watch that entire cutscene sequence of someone else doing some kind of operation in order to understand what's going on? Let's get into Hookshot. So I guess.
Yeah, just break into stuff, and when you can't break in, drone it.
Yeah. So the first thing is dialogue, hookshot, shop. Yeah, we've already got shop.hookshot games. So infiltrate the HR database of Hookshot Shop. What I need, file browse. I need a path. This is the weird thing. Is I'm in that domain, right? So.
Information gathering module initiated.
I can't even. I always get slightly confused. Is it WMI scanner that we need?
Well, if you're in and around a domain, it's a good idea to try and play with a WMI scanner.
Yeah. We'll run a scan on the internal network you are currently accessing. Dig will query the port. Yeah, there you go. There's some paths. AD, Active Directory.
Yeah.
Is there an Active Directory tool?
I don't know. Well, I think they did put one in there. But either way, we've got enough tooling to be able to touch AD anyway.
This is all the stuff from last mission. We'll call this. I can't even. I'm just going to call this last mission for now. That'll be out of date pretty soon. New tab. Oh, that must be the one before, right? Current. So yeah, let's just copy all of these. Oh, there's more of this ERP stuff. So there was something to do with a botnet that was going through ERP, right?
Well, so ERP was, remember, some conceptual name for HR backend stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Well, these are some
botnet,
parts for us. Big pardon?
I can't remember whether there was a specific botnet thing we had looked at that was to do with ERP.
I think all of the ERP domains had this malware on them. Or
Okay,
something like that was the idea.
right.
So, Dig will query the port and technologies used to host the app or database on the target.
Oh, that's right. I remember, because dig in the game is definitely not actual dig.
Yeah.
That's why I remember that now.
Might be worth looking at Sergeant Wheeler's notes for the mission, I've said. Well... Sergeant Wheeler's notes, then. Alright, thanks to your quick work, we have a stronger understanding of this complex network. The forensics team mapped out key assets from intel you've gathered so far. We've... hang on. Whoops.
Understanding of this complex network. The forensics team mapped out key assets from the intel you've gathered so far, and we've identified at least
4 compromised ERPs, all connected by someone in the last couple of months. At this stage, the identity of the individual is still unclear, but I think there's something to do with Hookshot Games. We don't know the direct link between the compromised ERPs and the botnet.
Dug a little further to help you out. She tracked down the network administrator from Hookshot Games and had an Onagru trace his activities for the last week. Your mission objectives are infiltrate Hookshot Games and gain access to their HR database.
HR database.
And find their role at Hookshot Games. Confirm their involvement with at least one other compromised company. Continue your search until hard evidence.
Okay. We have to find proof of an individual at Hookshot Games who is doing some form of interaction with a different compromised company to see whether that makes them kind of potentially red-handed for involvement with this botnet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jedi. Good tip going back and watching that briefing. So, we want to get into the HR database. We have HR timesheets is probably
Well,
the
did we say that we found some active directory somewhere?
No, it was Jedi Omen was telling us to look at the Active Directory tool, potentially. I think there is an AD tool.
Yeah. Well, we run that.
I've not even learned how we use that yet.
Okay.
And enter targets, we'd need an Active Directory address though.
Yeah. So we need to find. So we've got hosts though, right? In that local network.
Yes, but yeah, these 4 ones that I have on the notepad here are the ones that we found so far. ERP/accounting/finances, SRV/Git version repository, SRV HR timesheets, SRV resources, HP inkjets. So I think that's a case of trying the old WMI scanner on the ones that we have currently.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. That's up to date too. Oh, off-net intrusion group. What's that? Jedi Owen has just said off-net intrusion group. I don't remember hearing that name before.
No.
Keep digging. Oh, it lets you auto-complete. Oh, that's weird. That's up to date as well. I think the only one left to try out is the HP Blitz one.
What are you throwing at it? WMI scanner, are you?
Yeah.
The other one is their fingerprint? Or are these directory paths rather
These
than...
are all directory paths. These are all
okay.
These are all up to date. I tried all these just now. So that was for HP inkjets. Didn't get anything for that. That was for timesheets. Didn't get anything for that. That was for finances. Didn't get anything for that. Oh, did I try finances twice? Okay, so HP. Have I done repo? Maybe I haven't done repo.
Always hit the repo and go upstream.
ERP accounting. Oh, timesheets. Yeah, I don't think I have. So we've got one more that might get us something now. No, that's up to date as well. Okay. Automod keeps catching Jedi's messages for some reason. Ping them in the Discord instead. Have you got your eye in the Discord, Buff?
Yeah, I've got mine there. If you go to Hack the Planet.
Yep. Okay, right. Oh, Jedi thinks that we're fine. Okay. Right. Well, the thing is, I don't think they're not expecting us to have already owned this Hookshot Shop box. Infiltrate the HR database of Hookshot Shop. I mean, but we've got it. So maybe we're not as clever as we think we are. Run aircraft on it? I guess we can and see whether...
Well, hang on. Aircrack is net monitoring. You're on the local Wi-Fi link, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know.
Should be good.
We'll find out if there is anything that's got Wi-Fi on it. So, Aerodump is the...
Yes, that's right.
We'll see whether there's any Wi-Fi connected devices that this machine's connected to. Yeah, it is. We've got two Wi-Fi devices: HS Games Employees and Das Reef. So that gives us some SSIDs. So what? Example: handshake, and then the MAC address will compromise and download a hotspot's log files. So handshake, cracking passcode for that target, downloading data, download successful, session database updated. Okay, right, so here's the devices that have used that Wi-Fi. Hang on. What? All right, that's. What do they mean by name then in this instance? Because that's not a router. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it's the router that the employees all use.
Well, so hang on, these are...
I can backdoor all of these. I can backdoor every single one of these employees' cell phones. I suppose it's going to be a bit of brute force, as in trial and error, trying to get to the right one. I don't think that's how a security agency would usually operate. But
yeah, it wouldn't need to. You would, if you had any information about the person and you could find his IMEI, you would just ping him over. Well, you can probably talk about the old one.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but you'd be able to link his number to his IMEI or whatever, but you would just be able to talk through the SS7 IPv4 bridge, and then use some. If you go to a country that's not quite very up on their sort of data comms, GSM data comms stuff, and they just allow people to sort of jump through their systems.
Yeah.
You can route something through them that then makes a request out, which you can then, do the magic triangulation. Although that's
it's almost as if
much
these
harder to do
systems
now.
have been designed to be insecure, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you use if you're using a 90s communication protocol in production, 20 plus years later, there's probably going to be problems in it.
Yeah, quite.
Speaking of such, I got my new bank card the other day, and classically it's contactless again.
Yep.
And I have a bone to pick with the bank because unless my reader is off, the architecture is the MyFair Classic 1K, which is the 1997 implementation, as in the first MyFair implementation that went out, as in got broken in 2003. Yeah. MyFair Classic was the first Oyster card architecture, as an example of how old it is.
Right.
And it must be off. There must be some kind of problem. But all it is telling me is that. I need a proper reader to look at what it is.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you've got some obfuscation. It's on scan telling you that it's something else.
Well, I know they've reverted the architecture because they had a new fancy type of chip in the older card, but the new card has rolled it back to the older antenna layout, so I was able to kill the contactless part really easily. But the card I had before can't do that. Anyway, 90s tech, don't use it now. Otherwise you have problems.
I think smartphone not found. Weird, isn't it?
So we know which phone we're looking for.
No, we don't. I think that's what we've got to go back and do. This is a useful thing to manage
we
with the aircraft, but we want to try and find what this.
We haven't gone through the intel again. There'll be some information point somewhere where we know who.
Well, I guess we should probably read what they've given us intel-wise. This is the first call, really. So back to the file browser. And read our own files. Jedi Omen says, funny you talk about triangulation. I was at university in or around 2007. Happened to talk to a professor about cellular triangulation and was told it couldn't be done. Mental. And this was a uni that most had heard of. Oh dear. Well,
who said...
This was a professor who ought to know better, or this was a professor in philosophy or history? This was your computer science professor?
And they said cellular triangulation couldn't be done?
In 2007.
That is... In 2007, okay, I can inform you that even in 2007, that was the opposite of true. Although what they may have said is couldn't be done legally, or couldn't be done in the context of wherever the laws were governing the jurisdiction of that university, because you couldn't easily legally run around and just go and do it. So maybe if they're saying that, benefit of the doubt. But if you didn't care about the law, of course you could do it. No worries.
Here we go. I've got a clue. Okay, I think maybe we did have to get into hookshot at the end of last. There were, it was an engineering professor. Yeah. Right, so we've actually got the cab movement. So I don't think we have been too clever here. I think we were meant to break into hookshot last mission, and having it already available is fine because they dug up this intel for us, which is the cab movements. So house to office 8 a.m. on a Monday, and leaves the office at 7:15. Tuesday 8 a.m. to the office. Thursday 7 a.m. Friday 9 a.m. Saturday 12. Didn't go anywhere on Wednesday. So let's compare this to our chart here. So we want a phone that isn't available on a Wednesday that does
7, 9,
come in at
7, 9, and 8.
Well, there's only this one coming in at 7, this Apple phone or this Samsung phone on
Hang on, what day was it 7? Was that just Monday?
Thursday.
Thursday was 7, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
So Samsung, what did you, okay. Saturday at 12. Oh,
yeah.
This is in at Saturday at 12 as well. Okay. Monday 8.
Yeah.
Tuesday
8, 9.
8. Oh.
8. Well, there was an 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., 7 a.m. and 12.
It's up here
Missing.
on the right hand side, so it's 8 8. Didn't come in 7 9 12. So
there you go.
8 8 didn't come in 7 9 12.
Network intrusion module initiated.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. That's the one. See, if you look at the things
Well,
are discovered.
I didn't even. Let's just go back one because I didn't mean to click on that one. Let's just check that this phone can't. Yeah, that is the correct one. Cool. So just don't let you hack the wrong person in this instance.
Yeah, just breach all of them. Plug all of the data into X key score.
I'm not allowed to.
And
no,
it's funny. We have more restrictions than the actual NSA has.
Yeah, I know.
Or
Maximilian Friedman is someone he's been calling, and Matthias Sommer. Friedman is a name that's come up before, but not necessarily Maximilian. Let's add this to the case file. What objective are we on now? Oh, we've got no objectives again. Oh dear. Right, Maximilian Friedman. Let's go back one. Contacts.
Well, hang on. We need to.
What?
Well, so we've got info on what we need to look at the whole phone, right? Like what can we get into?
Well, these people, all of their contacts are from Hookshot Games, so that's nothing of any real use to us.
Okay, what else can we get into on these phones?
Messages. Stefan Adler, 8 messages. Those messages say, hey, HR wants to know how to get access to their new ID card database. I need access to it too. Oh, it's on our default server. at 10, 212, 102, 180. Make a note of that then.
Yep, got it. Default server, and that's an RFC 1918 address. It must be on.
It's the address that the ID cards for HR are supposed to be on.
Yeah, I mean, we have to jump onto whatever network we were on to touch that. So wherever we were doing the WMI thing, we should be able to find that IP address somewhere in that network.
Yeah, and then the path, Hookshot Games, Hookshot _ Games. Let's just copy that too. Hookshot _ Games /HR /ID _cards / that should be that. I need to set up DNS on our side for it, but haven't had the time yet. Remember the default username.
Hang on, why do we need to set up DNS?
Don't know.
We have an IP. You just go to the IP.
Well, no. This is. I'm still reading out his message.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
He's saying
right.
I need
okay.
to set up a DNS.
I'm with you now.
And he says, remember the default username is mecachadmin, and the default password is mecache4u. So, mecache. I mean, this is an OPSEC fail immediately. Is like use of even if it's supposedly an encrypted message.
If you compromise the whole phone, it doesn't matter, does it?
True enough. Yeah, that's true enough. But use of multiple channels is a fairly good idea. And, you know, so therefore, if you do need to ever share anything sensitive, encrypt some of it and send some of it via one device, and encrypt some of it and send some of it through another device.
The secret to that actually is use no devices.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Not always possible.
Have some mechanism, and I can't obviously recommend anything that would otherwise be illegal, but some method of being able to shield yourself from network communications in any sense and communicate.
There you go. Nearly missed the exclamation mark off of the password. Don't want to do that. Right. Seems like there's an issue with the auth servers, so we can't change the credentials yet. Anyone else using Mecache will have the same issue, so be careful. Don't tell anyone outside of HR. I won't. By the way, I can't find the card I'm looking for. It's probably in the temp files. The system clears anything in that folder that's older than 45 days. Pretty sure it purged a couple of weeks ago already. You can get the permanent IDs from the main folder. Okay, so main folder. Okay. All right, so I guess let's well, we don't even need to use WMI at this point then, because we don't need to check whether it's vulnerable. We just use the file browser and
yeah, we got creds. So
with the creds. No file system found. Okay, how does? Oh, do I have to put in the IP address for it first?
yeah, I think you do. Yeah, do you want it?
I've got it, I think.
Okay, so
No.
and I think Nietzsche said it too. If you look at all the review, he said if you stare into the abyss, I think, and I can't remember if it was Beyond Good and Evil or Thus Spake Zarathustra. I think it was Beyond Good and Evil. If you stare into the abyss will stare back into you.
Long enough is the bit you missed.
Long enough, yeah. Long enough, correct. Chapter 2, though, The Free Spirit, that is the chapter to read. If you want to read that book, Beyond Good and Evil. Very good chapter.
I actually haven't read any Ninja, I've got to say.
Well,
This is
fortunately, if you're not a teenage male, most of the time, it seems you won't go and misinterpret it in that angry phase of
angsty
life
way.
where people go badly wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
If you're not in that, like, that's the classic thing. Angry young male reads Ninja at that age, takes the wrong understanding of it, and goes a bit nuts.
Not really. What am I doing wrong here? I've got the IP address and extended it with the path. That ought to be valid, right? What do I need to do? w.shop. No, it wouldn't be shop. Oh, hang on. Right. File browser maybe can only be local, so I need to go and own that IP address instead.
Yeah, I think you do. You need to own it, but you've got creds. So I don't know if you can mount. I can't remember.
Right.
You should be able to, like, the thing you would do is you would simply try to log in, but obviously if they don't let you do that because there's no login prompt, you'd dictionary attack it, but you'd use the creds that are there. You know what I mean? I don't know, but we've got the IP. Should be fine. Fingerprint is the thing they called it, right? In this game, rather than in that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm just because I'm here. Let's see whether it's Active Directory or not. No.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
There we
you're
go,
right. That's
Jedi.
fingerprint.
He says we have an IP. Can we T2 turbine it or some such? Yes, I think once we've compromised it with whatever exploit we need, that puts it into the turbine, right?
And then from there, yeah. So we need to fingerprint it, find the exploit from there. Oh, hang on. Is it NetScan? No, it is fingerprint. Fingerprint. Can I feed it an IP?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it should be able to. But if we're not connected through to that network,
but it's up to date, so fingerprinting it doesn't really give me much information, does it?
well, it might be up to date, but we might. What services do we have on there?
Simple ERP, it's that kind of ERP.
Right. Well, strange because we've got creds for that machine, so there must be something we can do somewhere to log into that machine.
Well, I swear that's what the file browser is for, but
yeah, I thought it was as well. And
maybe it doesn't like being given an IP address. It wants a web address, as in an ASCII character. Domain.
Yeah, just a.
Yeah. But no, that's what they were talking about. They haven't. He says I need to set up DNS for that. So what he's saying is there isn't a domain name that is allocated. So you should be able to just use the IP address.
How old was the message?
Well, I don't know. I closed it.
But yeah, if we've got they've expressly given us the IP, so either they expect us to.
Okay, no, it's that I just put the IP into the. Into the file browser.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That is what you would do. Yeah, that's. Sorry, I must have missed that earlier. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Right, and that just gives. It's just. Null paths can be found with WMI scanner or the S fuzzer. Good job finding this. I wonder what's in this HR shared drive. ID cards. Regular. George Hirsch's ID. Oh, hang on. I mean, who do we need? Max. I don't even know the name of the guy that we've hacked. Let's just grab everyone's ID. Having employees ID numbers is important. All of these employees for the Hookshot games are all models part-time, which means that they're definitely not a video games company as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it's definitely a front, isn't it?
Yeah, we are all ugly in video games.
Yeah, in IT security, we don't even talk about our faces. You know what I mean?
I don't know whether that's helped me at all or not.
Hang on, there's been like 8 models and then 1 bank manager.
Yeah. Not sure whether that helped me or not. Temporary. I suppose we want to. I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. Carl Hoffman is apparently the person that is important. Because we've just. I heard the completed objective sound. That's the only reason I know that. We're just gonna keep adding ID cards because I just feel like.
Yeah, just collect all of the data.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Just remember, in real life, if you're collecting lots of data, don't forget that you've collected it, because then it's sitting somewhere on a box that might be linked to you.
Yeah.
So, just for future reference, if you play the game IRL, don't collect and forget.
So we need to work out what our next objective is. No, that's not how we do it. Oh, here we go. Confirm that our target was involved with at least one other company. I mean, I don't even know who our target is. What's his name? Dan Friedel. Is it Dan Friedel that we've hacked? I'm unaware. Definitely not an OSINT guy, I think.
Well, hang on. So when we looked at the ID cards, what else is on there? Like, did we look at the rest of the box? Have we missed something there, or what?
They literally just had a name and an ID.
So we've collected all these people. What do we do when we have people? Throw them into.
I should have. This is where. Okay, we're gonna have to go back. I did say that someone Hoffman did. Wasn't that the name that I said?
Carl Hoffman.
Carl Hoffman. Is that what I said?
Yeah. You said Carl Hoffman made the sound.
Yeah, made the sound. So maybe we just try and get X key score up and see whether we can drop Carl Hoffman into it.
Initiated.
So if we can. Oh, this is X key score doesn't have any of the ID cards I just put in for any of these people.
Right. Let's go back to the ID cards and let's see what the deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Carl Hoffman. That was who we decided was this guy.
Click on Carl Hoffman then.
IT
Let's look at his thing. Yeah. There's a bit of a delay, but you're gonna have to let me.
Yep.
Anything else on these things?
No. Just their role.
Carl_Hoffman ID.
Why does it say that? Oh, that's the name of the files. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, the red. Press the red wings at the bottom. That's pulsing. Not all.
Oh,
no, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Wonder what's in this HR share drive.
That's the old message.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
But thanks for the suggestion, Jedi. That's a good point. I mean, maybe we can go back to owning that dude's phone.
What if we were wrong about Carl Hoffman? Let's look at the other cards again. Because this is all we've got to work on is these cards, right?
Well, also we can. We should have made a note of the guy's phone that was backdoored. We have to do that over again. Oh, browser. This is why you organise your stuff properly, Richard. Drop that there. That there. Fingerprint. What did we used? Here we go. Stefan Adler was who we were talking to. That's the person who. And we don't know whose name this is. The person that we've backdoored. That's the problem.
And this was the first message that we saw, right? Are there any other messages going on?
No, it's just the one. Like when you click messages, you just get the one. So I guess we didn't look in notes. DNS reminder. Remind yourself of DNS from me cache server, so I don't have to type in an IP every time I want to access it. KB, note to self, set up a KB for the others. Getting kind of tired of telling them to turn it off and on again. Should just set up a blank website with those instructions in 70 impact font, then I'll get it. Talk to Matthias. Should talk to Matthias to see if I can score a key for the new Rise of Gothic sequel. Default me cache pass. I can't find a way to change a default me cache pass. But you'd think something like simple ERP would be more intuitive. I can't find the option anyway. Guess we'll keep the default one, but anyone that uses the same ERP will be able to log in if they know the IP address.
Yeah, it's just
a. So we'll need to fix that soon.
That's a hint for someone who'd found that part first, right?
We may need to progress before we put ID cards into Nite or X key score. But so, let me make a note. Who's the IT guy that I thought? Actually, we can match it to this picture. We got this picture of this guy, even if we don't have his name.
Oh yeah.
Carl Hoffman is one. Carl Hoffman.
That's not Carl Hoffman, though.
No, Carl Hoffman had glasses, didn't he? So then let's get back to.
Let's look at all the cards, all the ID cards somewhere.
Here we go. Here they are.
Because I didn't get a chance.
Oh, I guess actually what we'll do is we'll probably drag this phone back into this one, and then it'll be easier. Let's drop these notes down. Here's our picture of our dude. Kristin Eisenhower. No, not her. I doubt that guy's called Lena.
Yeah, I can't see these very well because
that's alright. I'm skipping through the ones that are ladies because this picture is clearly a man. It's not. I don't think those guys look like each other. Ralph Thalberg.
No, we've seen that person though.
Carl Hoffman, definitely not. So if Carl Hoffman is the other person that's related to. Okay, regular. There's two sets of cards. George Hirsch. There we go. His name is George Hirsch, who we've gotten into, and what does it say? He is the IT admin.
Yeah, that's if my Spanish and/or Portuguese is correct, that's Jorge.
Oh, that's true. It's true.
Oh no, it's not. It's German there, the umlaut, right? So Jörg.
Yeah, Jörg.
Jörg Hirsch.
Right. So let's make a note of that.
I've got his number.
got his number.
Yeah, his join date is 10/10/10. I've got that somewhere. 1023 is the thing at the end, right?
Okay, so George Hirsch is who we've backdoored and who has gotten us into here. He had glasses, the Superman problem.
Yeah. So the ones that you're clicking on now, we need to open and view all of the cards?
I've saved every single one of them already. But yeah.
Yeah, yes. Them is one thing, but I want to look at them. I want to see.
Kirsten Krausch, Laura Drescher, Marina Winemacher, Matthias Sommer, Max Friedman, Stefan Adler. Stefan Adler is a programmer. We got his. He's in X. Let's see who we've got in XKey School. We have. Oh no, I don't think we do have any of those people in XKey School. We've got people with similar names. This is a problem with it all being in German. I'm like not really able to go. Oh, I recognise that surname or. Similar, right?
See, now, if I were genuinely playing with this, right, and I had a collection of 10 to 15 ID cards, but they all increment very basically. There's as you would expect. So I would find wherever ERP is to request a record based on one of these, and if I manage to pull one ID back, and I know that if I submit a request here, I would just increment from 0 to, I don't know,
25.
9099.
Yeah.
No, all of them, like 9999, whatever the thing is, and because it looks like they've got as far as about 1,000 and something employees.
Right, yeah.
Take the whole lot, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that in the game.
No. So we've owned Carl Hoffman. Let's go back. It says confirm that our target was at least involved with at least one other company. So
Yeah, it sounds like X-Key School then, doesn't it?
it does, doesn't it? Carl Hoffman or George Hirsch in the old XP School. We don't. Oh, German cab transport. Let's drop that in. Drop Hookshot Games in, and see if we can get that to give us access to anyone. Might pull up one of those two. No relations. Well, tax database has always been useful. Let's get rid of the cabs.
Carl Hoffman made the noise, didn't he? As you said.
He did, but we don't have him yet. I think we're just going to have to brute force the old key score. Try the airline passenger data first. No. Try animal registry next. No. Try. Oh, we've tried cab transport, but just for the sake of sanity. Okay, so I didn't click on it. No. German ER registry. No. German police reports. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be the one that we've gotten everything else with. It's going to be the tax database. That's at the bottom of this list. No, not to the police reports. Tax database. Yeah, it was. Oh, for fuck's sake. Jedi says, what did the Red Wings pulsing at the south say we needed? It actually doesn't. It just congratulates us for having gotten those creds through the text message. That's all it says, really. It says, good, but well done finding it. I wonder what's in the HR guide. Right, Hookshot Games tax document, which I guess we already have. Tax ID, Marina Wanamaker, Bookshop Games. This is from before. I think we got this before. Can we? How do we get more people in X? Like, we know these people are here. The X Keys Core should have this all over it, surely. Advanced filters? No. Phase automatic. I want no filtering, I guess.
Jedi Omen says HR shared drive. Yeah, wait, hang on a sec. Where does it say that?
That was what this guy says, Dylan. He goes, normal paths can be fine with your WMI scanner or S-Fuzzer. Good job finding this one on the phone. Wonder what's in this HR shared drive. But the HR shared drive is what we just nabbed all this stuff from previously.
Yeah.
Here. I mean, maybe we have listened to him too closely and we need to go back. Because this is the HR shared drive. There's nothing else I can look at in here. It's literally Hookshot Games. The other ones are technically locked. HR shared drive, holidays, timesheets, ID cards is all that's there. Maybe we missed something. Yeah, maybe, but it's pretty much only these 8 ID cards. I mean, we don't really know what that IT consultant guy, why he's important. Carl Hoffman.
He'll be somewhere.
Yeah, it's slightly annoying when it's a non-diegetic sound that is the only thing that you understand about why it's important.
Yeah, I mean, if you have ever played something like Far Cry or Crysis, you would know that sounds are entirely detached from what might be important in the game.
Yeah.
You would be sitting there and not moving, and then suddenly massive, energetic chase music occurs, and then goes away in 10 seconds, and there was no reason for any of it. You see how I can fake having played games quite well.
Well, you know, having some historic knowledge of video games is pretty important. I don't know when the last Far Cry came out.
You can ingratiate yourselves with the gamer community and they think you're one of them. It's great.
Another part of your infiltration technique.
Yeah, all you have to do is say GoldenEye was the best FPS ever, and they should have held off Mario Maker until they had the the touch thing on the Switch, is it?
Don't know.
Is there a little stylus on the Switch?
Not a Nintendo type. That's sacrilege to say, but I've never owned a Nintendo device. No, I have. I've owned Game Boys.
You must have had an N64.
I did actually, yeah.
So
I just don't think of the Mario games because I mainly played things like GoldenEye and the third-party titles. It just doesn't. It's not your kind of classic Nintendo environment in terms of the titles. Jello says, if you go back to the mission screen, what's it asking for? Do we need to link to people for some such? Good question. How do I get that?
Didn't Rare get bought out recently? Speaking of GoldenEye.
Quite a while ago, actually. Yeah, they were bought by Microsoft. They've been Microsoft for, I don't know, since 2010 or something like that.
I thought something recently happened with Rare. I can't remember then. Maybe it wasn't a purchase, it was something. I can't remember.
database.
So we have to confirm the involvement
Your role at Hookshot Games.
of this mystery individual. This mystery individual.
Continue your
Find their role. Confirm their involvement with one other compromised company. That would definitely be X-Keyscore, surely. There's nothing else that we can use to search by an individual. I guess other than maybe guessing their email address and trying to use the social engineering attack.
Do we have any data that tells us email address from
Well, we've
linking
got,
them on X-Keyscore?
we've got not from X-Keyscore, but we do have Maria Wanamaker's email address from the tax document here, so we can use that format and just put in his initials, M. Wanamaker. So we could just try emailing. What's his name?
C. Hoffman.
K. Hoffman, or was it a C?
Okay, was it Carl with I don't know, was it Germanic Carl or English Carl? Because I thought I saw it was anglicised, but I don't know. I can't remember.
Let's double check. It is C. Yeah, I've written it wrong.
But also, if we have Wanamaker's email address, we know that is the email, their email. We could try and smash them. You're right. If the special noise was Carl, so we need to try Carl. But also, the guaranteed data has been that this email address did exist, right?
Yeah.
What Wanamaker's? Smash everybody. Just brute everyone's email.
I mean, spearfishing in Russia. Fish spears you. Build email database 1. Email crawler dictionary pattern.
We've already wandered around Hookshot Games to an extent, I think.
Yeah, I wonder whether we already did it.
Things were up to date, patched, otherwise inaccessible, it seemed.
We own shop.hookshotgames. Doesn't that mean we can put anything in there already? Yeah, I mean, this is the bit that I find quite difficult, is the fact that, like, if you own Subnet, like, it doesn't give you many options for traversal.
Well, NetScan would give us that, would it?
Let's try that.
But we do have email, we shouldn't forget that. Like, they put that in the game, right? EA was right. It is in the game.
It is in the game. I can't even remember what the net scan is. The fingerprint thing, right?
So fingerprint is fake Nmap, and NetScan is another part really of it, where you're instead of hitting a specific host, you're hitting a range of hosts to enumerate them.
Oh right, is that the S buzzer side of it? No,
No, I thought there was a tool called NetScan somewhere.
Yeah, I do remember something along those lines.
Okay, what's the menu item?
What's the menu item where?
When you're scrolling through menu items, I can't read the.
Oh right, okay. Information gathering is DNS and bhost mapping, which are all the kind of more broadly just Googling, basically.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
Host fingerprint, which is.
Yeah, I don't know then.
No, WMI scanner, which WMI scanner has NetScan. Yeah, we'll run a scan within the internal network you are. We already did this though. That is how we got what we got so far.
I thought we did some dig stuff on things.
Yeah, no, that's how we got the ERP accounting finances. Yeah,
right.
We've already done this once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. enter company name. Right, yeah, let's enter company name. So, what was it? Hookshot Games. What was the
Yes.
name here?
Initiated.
Shop.hookshot games, but just hookshot games, right?
Hookshotgames.com. Yeah, for this set.
X key score forensics. Initiated.
Right. Dictionary pattern. Hookshotgames.com. Couldn't find information. Okay, let's look at Hookshot Games. What? Hookshot Games? No. Alright, manual then. Let's go back to manual. Ready for manual entry. I think it's probably going to be time for me to finish up pretty soon anyhow. So let's give this
I think so.
Let's give this a crack and then we can go away and have a think about it. Right, so Maria Wanamaker, well, I guess, let's try the one that exists and put that in as well as the one that doesn't.
Yep.
So,
X key score
Well, can't we run this and it
Initiated.
a set of all of them?
yeah, we can, exactly. M.WANNEMAK. WANNEMAK.
X key score forensics. Initiated.
Target domain not found. Well, it's right there. That's not misspelled. I think we're pissed out of luck. They don't want us to be setting
Well, what domain did you put in?
at hookshotgames.com.
Right.
Yeah, and it's the domain that's m.WANNEMAKER at. Yeah, there's no typos there. I think bang out luck then there. I think we're gonna have to.
Well, why don't we just try C. Hoffman before we leave?
Yep.
Well, no, it said domain
It's
not
the domain,
found.
but yeah, we can try it anyway.
Yeah, for science we should test. But if they can't find the domain, then they're done.
Also, he's a consultant.
Hang on. They haven't set up DNS, have they?
What? Try putting the IP in.
Try putting the IP in. I mean, it doesn't make too much sense, but if it's not finding domains, and we have had information before to say DNS isn't a thing,
True enough. Yeah. Okay.
it shouldn't work. But again, for science. If there's an email service
Invalid email
sitting on a
format. Doesn't like that.
God damn it. That's very irritating.
Got some thinking to do, haven't we?
Oh well. We can discount that at least.
Yep. Okay. Right. Well. Thanks again, Path.
No problem.
Thank you, Jedi, for being in the chat, and to the few others that we've got on the other services. Always big thanks to people who pop by in Steam Broadcast. We particular fans
hang
of
on.
people.
Whoa, hang on.
What?
Jedi Omen, he pointed it out. Invalid. When it said invalid email, did it say invalid email alone, or did it say?
It said format.
Oh, it did say
So I
format.
assume, well, we can try Hoffman's as well. Why don't we try Hoffman's with the...
Well, if it says an invalid format, it's not liking the IP, right?
I think so.
But yeah, again, science be praised.
Yep.
The science we must test.
Well thought, no, Jedi, always worth a go, worth a crack. Fuck, he says. They say. So, yeah, well, been a pleasure, as always. And who knows, I mean, maybe, part of the thing is leaving it 2 weeks is maybe a little bit too much of a stretch for the old brain. So maybe, I don't know, if you're around next week, we could have a crack again next week. I don't know whether that's
I
too
can be.
frequent for you.
Yeah, I can do that.
We maybe pop to a stream every Thursday for a bit and see whether we can get through this with better use of our older memory nodes.
Yeah, I think that's been a fair old time sink for us, isn't it?
Yeah, just trying to remember it. Jedi says they'll study as well and see what they can find with us.
Grand.
Perfect. All right. Well, there's a little team with us on it then. I mean, a lot of streamers. One of the things that they do is they've either got a let's play or a read through or walk through down on a screen next to them. But I felt that kind of takes away from. I mean, this game.
Oh no, we can't do that. That's not the deal, is it?
That's what a lot of streamers do. But
yeah, but we ain't streamers, remember? Well,
no, we're exactly.
Well,
we're meant to be giving the perspective of hackers playing hacking games, not streamers playing hacking games.
The problem is the models that a lot of us might use to do this is spanning over a project that might be weeks or months of dedicated effort on that thing, rather than so going down on random tangents is entirely valuable if you're doing it that way, because you're doing the same thing for 2 or 3 days and it all sits in your memory.
Yeah.
But we can't afford to do that if we do 2 weeks apart at a few hours at a time.
Yeah.
There has to be some focus streamline because there's a specific path to follow, right?
Yeah.
So all we've learned is that if you were to take a classic approach, even if you had some kind of structure of what you get first, and everybody has their own, it wouldn't fit within the context of that as a pure apply that method to the flow of the game, right?
Well,
but then
it's also very difficult to design something that's meant to be broken and it not then have only very specific outcomes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because you have to reach milestones to some degree, and you have to discover how to get to those milestones, but it's still strongly deterministic in comparison to real world scenario, right? So you're never going to be able to have a model that works in a stochastic environment of trying to break into any given random server with stupid configs and custom code versus deterministic game flow.
Yeah.
Like that.
Exactly.
But we're getting there. We are getting there.
We are. Yep. Jedi Omen says working on Milliways is fun too. We can get much accomplished, I'm sure. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, we can definitely do more of that also.
I think you should try to find your way to one or more Milliways events.
Yes,
Jedi
definitely.
Omen.
Dependent on what part of the world you're in, different ones will be easier to get to, but certainly in the Northern Hemisphere or the Western Hemisphere, Milliways is pretty well represented across a few continents, or a couple of them at least.
Yeah.
So certainly doable. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thanks again, all, and yeah, let's stream next Thursday too. Then we can maybe make a bit of headway on this with slightly fresher
Jedi
minds.
Omen says, I thought it was CCC exclusively. No. So Milliways will turn up at conferences, and camps across different countries.
Yep. So
the
tour
next
camp in the US.
Yep. EMF in the UK.
EMF in the UK.
Which is the next one.
There's strong ties to 2600, and I'm sure McFly can talk about that more. But so Hope Conference in New York, if you're near to New York, that is that has some Milliways ties. I don't know. I mean, it's a conf rather than a camp, so it's not quite as elaborate. But certainly some Milliways people will be around representing.
Normally, what you have in the conferences are people less involved in having to do lots of setup and maintenance of things and service of things and teardown, and more people sitting down with laptops causing chaos, right?
Yeah.
There are valid reasons to go to both. You're not missing out on an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
One time you might want to sit down and break things for a few days, and another time you might want to chill out in a kind of a festival with gadgets.
I have to make it to Hope at some point. Hope is next year, right? It's every 2 years. I think there is a Hope conference next year. I'd like to check that out, because I don't know whether that is as kind of freeform, or whether it is more as your traditional kind of talks and sort of received learning. Be interesting. I'm sure. Well, let's ask McFly if he's around next week. Sounds like he would.
Yeah.
So we'll ask him. He'll know more. Yep. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Well, see you all next week.
Take it easy.
See ya.